Yo, what up, Toshi here. In today's video, we're going to be trying out Tribbie E1. I actually finally got Tribbie E1 after all this time because maybe you don't know, I don't spend money on the Honkai Star. I have not spent money on Honkai Star since like Rappa's banner, I believe. It's been a very, like to me, that's a long time. But today, we're going to be trying out Tribbie E1. I did get lucky and pull, so thank goodness. And I am super excited, honestly, because I heard this was like the most broken Eidolon in Honkai Star on a support character. So we're going to see how strong it is. I have like one team I really want to use it on. That's the Castora's team. That's honestly the only team I really use in Honkai Star nowadays because it's really strong. But I'm sure it's extremely broken for just about any other character that can utilize her really well too. Like for instance, the Herda, so on and so forth, who I actually do use as well, but mostly for pure fiction. Video is sponsored by Eniba. Eniba is a pop-up site, but not just your everyday one. Eniba essentially allows you to not only save up to 30% on your top-up purchases, but also allows you the option to save on the trendy games too. It's a pretty massive marketplace to put in short. I do want to save via top-ups or Star Rail, so let's just do that. Type Star Rail in the search bar and choose your preferred amount of Anuric shards. Enter your server and UID via the top right side corner, and after entering your payment, you will receive your in-game top-up. The cashback bonus also allows you to save even more. It's honestly kind of nice. Check out the link in the description to save on your Anuric shards. And thanks to Eniba for sponsoring this video. So for those of you that are living on the rock, have not known what Tribbie E1 does, it essentially gives you a bunch of true damage added to your overall damage dealt, which is honestly pretty darn nice. Like really good, right? It makes your damage skyrocket. So like the more damage you put out, the more true damage you're going to be getting, and the more value you'll be making of the Eidolon 1 of Tribbie. So essentially, it gets better the more damage you deal, and honestly, the stronger the character is in question. So this will be really good and scale really well with, like, of course, more investment into your damage dealers, but also be really good in the future of Honkai Star, where, you know, let's be real, power creep continues to ramp up, right? This Eidolon is going to continue to get value, so that's one of the best things about this versus any other support Eidolon in the game. But E0 Tribbie has allowed me to clear all the content with ease, with no struggle whatsoever. E1 is just icing on the cake, and it is, of course, going to make this character extremely valuable for, honestly, years to come. Oh, and this is my Castora's build. If I haven't went over her build in previous videos, my build isn't the best. It's honestly one of the worst builds. It's pretty mid. 50 crit rate, 199 crit damage, 200. I'm using Blade Light Cone because it gives me the highest base HP of a Light Cone. So she'll have as much HP as she can get. And I think she's on a HP spear, right? Yeah. Again, my stats are not even that crazy. Like this is pretty bad. This is okay. This is fine. This is fine. This is pretty bad. And this is decent. Well, this one isn't horrible. It's actually pretty good, but there's no crit rate on it, which would help out quite a bit. So we're not going to be using Silver Wolf just so we can see the max value I'm getting from Tribbie in this team, and I will be using Ruame in place of that. She does give Defense Ignore with her first Eidolon, which will help out Castoris and Tribbie's and even High Signs damage. And she gives damage boost right to the team, which is also pretty nice considering my highest sign does give quite a bit of HP to the damage dealers in the team comp. It helps out quite a bit. Okay, so we should see the true damage start to come online after we activate the ultimate from Tribbie. We can get a little bit more energy if we can just hit Tribbie here. We're probably not going to hit Tribbie, and that's okay. Boom, we activated anyways. It doesn't matter. Okay, now we're going to start to see the true damage from Tribbie. Already a lot of damage. Now we have even more res pen and more defense ignore. Oh my goodness, Castoris just did 200,000 on the elemental skill. Oh my goodness, his damage is unreal. Why do I feel like this is more than Silverwolf was providing? I mean, Silverwolf had her own personal damage, so that's why the damage felt higher with her. I mean, like, when I say just like her by herself, right? I feel like this team is just better. I feel like it's just better. Yeah, we didn't get past this point before, and without taking another cycle to kill this little horse. Yeah, this is really good. more HP. I do have to say that my highest sign is E1. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in previous videos. Again, I have not spent money. I've just been very fortunate with my pulls so far. Okay. I actually I don't know if zero cycle is possible. Not with my Custoris not having like E2 and then not her signature light cone, right? Or even a better light cone with more damage on it. But I do wonder if we can at least get this 29 out of 30 in terms of like cycles, right? I don't know. But anyways, I do have a confession to make. I will probably be not making Starro videos like probably ever again after like this month is over, if I'm being honest. For those of you that do watch me consistently, over who knows how long I've been making videos for. It's not like I'm leaving YouTube. It's just I think I'm done making Starro videos. I didn't want to make like a I quit video or anything like that because if I did, I'd probably make one for every game I've stopped playing. But I think I'm just going to stop making videos on Starro. I mean, just because the videos haven't been doing great on the channel. So there's not even a monetary reason for me to continue making videos anyways. So I feel like I'm just going to try to finally branch out and do other things I want to do. I kind of want to continue making Uma Masumi videos, but I never continued to make Uma Masumi videos, and I kind of regret that. So I'm tired of regretting my decisions when it comes to YouTube. So like different channels, content, ideas, and all of that. I'm tired of regretting it. So, but as for Starro, again, it's just not doing good in my channel anymore. So there's no monetary reason to continue doing it, aside from the sponsors we've been getting, which is very, 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 very blessed to have those. Very thankful for those. But aside from that, I haven't had a reason to continue making videos. So, yeah, just being honest here. And the videos take quite a bit of time to make, right? So, like, I feel like if you're going to spend a lot of time on something in life, you should be rewarded for the time you spend on it. At least that's my opinion. If you're not rewarded for the time you spend on something that takes quite a bit of time out of your day and a lot of mental, patience, then you probably should stop or reevaluate whether you enjoy doing it or not. But that's my opinion. But anyways, we cleared that relatively easily. I didn't want that to be very depressing or very sad. So again, I didn't want to make like a I quit video or anything like that. But yeah, that's just for those of you that do watch all my videos. Now you'll know what's going to happen to me in the coming month. But it's not like I'm quitting YouTube or anything like that. I will probably pursue something else in terms of genres on YouTube. And then later on, if the channel does well, I'll probably announce it. If it doesn't, if I forget, then, whatever. But yeah, that's just what I have planned of what's going on. Okay, so we replaced the Custoris team with Jade's premium team. I do not have an Axa, so the best character I could use for that is Jade. And Jade is actually really, really good here. So that's honestly a benefit of the character. I can make use of the quantum set I have on both Jade and Herta because I use the quantum set of Herta. It's because I do not have... I've gotten so many pieces for the speed set of her best in slot relic domain, but I cannot get any of her best in slot relic pieces to save my life. So I've been using her on the quantum set since I've gotten the character. Crazy how much RNG there is in Hoyoverse gachas when it comes to gear farming. I always forget until I have to farm for a new DPS character. DPS characters are the worst to farm for, let me just tell you. Because for the most part, aside from dot characters and break characters, you're looking out for crit stats. Which, again, asking for crit in Hoyoverse games is just a lost cause. I hate crit farming in Hoyoverse games, genuinely. It is, for some reason, farming for crit is worse than farming for speed, which you would think that farming for speed should be harder than farming for crit, but it's not. It's not even like it's RNG at the end of the day. It's just like the crit stats are super low on the stats you can get when farming gear. It's really, really bad. Anyways, I didn't want this to be me complaining about crit farming, but you all know how bad it is in Honkai Star Rail, so I don't really need to say anything else about it. This team seems okay. I think the biggest issue I'm going to have with this team is, for one, I don't have a lot of crit on my Herta and my Jade, so I mean, I probably could make more use of Fuge 1 instead of High Assign in this team, because she would give more crit rate to the team. So that's one thing. And the other thing too is that my Herta does not have her Sig Lycone. My Herta, again, most of my characters, if not all my characters, like E0, because again, I don't spend money. I also don't really overinvest into 1 to 2 characters. I had to continuously get different characters. I said that when knowing that I pulled Tribbie E1, but Tribbie E1 is better than getting a new character, right? So yeah, but I mean, this team is doing still pretty decent. It's just a little slower and lagging behind the Custoris team. But I just think Custoris is really, really overtuned. So there's that. I will say this team would definitely pull ahead in Pure Fiction. Or maybe it won't. Again, Custoris is really overtuned in Honkai Star Rail. That character can do everything a character can do on, like, she feels stronger than Acheron was at launch on Acheron's signature Lycone. Like Acheron on her Sig at her release in 2.1 feels weaker than Custoris in 3.2 is when Custoris released without her signature Lycone. Let that sink in. This character is extremely overtuned. Extremely overtuned. But you all know this at this point, right? So I guess to kind of sum it up, Tribbie E1 is really, really strong. A lot stronger than I thought it was going to be. It definitely is a game changer. I don't know what this team is end up going to be at the end of this run. Like how it most likely will clear within 5 cycles. But the team is really, really strong with just this Eidolon. It feels like this Eidolon essentially is a lot better than going heavy into investment for your DPS character. Like for instance, if I wanted to invest into this team, instead of pulling for a Eidolon of Herta or even her signature Lycone, Tribbie E1 sounds like the best of both worlds because you increase Tribbie's damage, you increase Herta's damage, and you increase any other damage dealer's damage in the future you decide to use with this character if you decide to go ahead and stop using Herta at some point. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I mean, is it cool though? It's like, honestly, let's be real here. It's like whale bait, but it is pretty nice if you end up getting it or saving up for it. Yeah, maybe we'll clear it in 26 cycles, actually, not 25. Or it'll be like 27 if it ends up going there. I always get the number confused. Man, I love Highest Sign. This character is so good. Super good. Also, a character that feels very, very fair within the midst of power creep in Honkai Star Rail. She feels like the most fair support or fair sustained character release, fair defensive option release in Honkai Star Rail. I say that, and maybe she's not fair. Maybe I'm a little biased because I love this character, just design, aesthetic, and just everything about her. But I feel like she's fair. I feel like she's fair. She feels still neat. Oh wow, that cleared better than I thought it was gonna clear. Wow. Okay. Yeah. E1 Tribbie is a game changer. I do understand that Herta and Jade is super good for that first side of Memory Chaos. But yeah, Tribbie E1 is a game changer. Oh my goodness. And this is, mind you, like some patches after Tribbie E1 has already been, established in the Honkai Star Rail grand spear of what is good and what's not good in terms of support Eidolons. Still really, really good. I mean, Tribbie is probably the best support in the game right now, but that just makes her even better. And the team too. Crazy. Okay, here we go. So we'll be trying out Tribbie E1 in Pure Fiction now. I am curious to see if I can. I without a doubt I'm going to get 40,000, right? Without a doubt. I am using Yun Li on the second team, and again, as I said before, I don't roll for signature Lycones and dude, I remember when the last time I rolled for signature Lycone in Honkai Star Rail. I actually tried to build pity for highest signs Lycone, but I was like, what's the point of doing this? I'm probably not going to get it and continue rolling her banner instead. So I am close to pity for a sig, but I think I am saving that signature pity for Custoris. I think. I'm like debating whether or not I want to spin for the 4-star Battle Pass light cone, which is really good for Castoris. But I don't think I'm going to spend any money at all. So I probably am going to wait until her rerun is around the corner and then go for that. Also, I guess I haven't talked about Ceridra, which we'll probably do in a future video. A lot of things to say about that character. Oh my goodness. I guess I haven't been doing the daily upload thing like I've done in a while, where I would, give my thoughts on whatever was going on in Honkai Star Rail. I was kind of like doing daily news, you know what I mean, for Star Rail. But yeah, Ceridra, oh my goodness. That character is insanely nice in terms of design. But absolutely abomination of a kit. Right? Like, I tried to see if she would be good with Seal, and not more than Sparkle. Which, let's be real here. If she's not better than Sparkle, a character that was released in 2.0, for a character like Seal, right, with her skill-based damage, like, increase, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? I understand that she's not meant for, like, she's not primarily meant for Seal. She's meant for Finon. But let's be real here, dude. Like, at least make her good. We don't need another JQ situation, right? Where you make this character really only good for like 1, maybe 2 characters. And then ends up just being a character that, if said character that they were good with is not met anymore. In the case of Acheron, that character's value also falls off a cliff until they release another character that is a better version of, said character that would make them good. So like Acheron, for instance, Acheron 2.0 or Acheron direct buffs. You do not have to make another JQ. It's so unnecessary. But you also don't have to make another Robin. That too is also unnecessary. Just at least make the character better and use, like, actually better to use with more than 1 character, Maybe 2, if we're being honest here, if anyone plays Anaxa as a main DPS. So more than 2 characters. But yeah, it's very disappointing because I love her design. It's like Farina from Genshin Impact. So it's a very nice design, very nice aesthetic. Very nice. I love the little top hat she has. It's very cute. But man, they ruined it. The chest aesthetic is also really, really cool too. Really, really cool. I'm a fan of it. But yeah, they ruined Ceridra, and it's very disappointing. Apparently Hysolins is really strong. So yeah, maybe we'll talk about her in one of these videos, but I guess maybe I will make videos on these 2 characters before the end of the month. But other than that, I'm very disappointed. Maybe at the time of you watching this, she ends up getting some crazy buffs in her beta, and she turns to a universal support, like the supports they've been releasing Honkai Star Rail before she released. Who knows? But as of right now, she is a niche and not even crazy character within said like niche, which is a little disappointing. But hey, maybe, a lot of armchair theorizing has been going on, and maybe on her release she ends up being stronger than was thought. That could be a possibility. But the possibility of that is also, I guess, pretty slim at this point, right? Because theory crafting in Honkai Star, for the most part, has always been pretty true because of how easy it is to formulate, the situations or the circumstances of a real battle, because it's all, set and forget. But yeah, that was easy. 40,000 without even sweating. Obviously, it is the Prima Castoris team, so without a doubt, it's going to be really good. I am curious to see how far this team could go. So maybe I'll cut to the end of me doing this team here. And then, yeah. And maybe that'll be just the end of the video. But I want to see how far this Yunli team gets. I replaced Ting Yun with my other character I was using. I don't remember who I was using in place of Ting Yun. I think, I don't know. Maybe I could use Robin here too. The only issue I have with this team, if I was to use Robin, is that I actually do not have... This is why you gotta auto with Yunli. I always forget that. I don't have Yunli with her Sig, and her sig gives her the increased hit chance, right? Or chance to be hit by the enemy being targeted. So that's one benefit of having her sig, and I don't have it. It also gives her quite a bit of extra damage too. But in place of that, I am using the light cone of Clara, so she has more attack. But yeah, there's nothing else. I mean, look at this, right? If you have her light cone, then you're going to be hit by the enemies. But if you don't have it, this is what happens. So that's like Yunli is the one character. When I remember making that video a while back, like you cannot make a character like this that is dependent on their light cone. It is one of the worst things you can do for a character ever, is make said character dependent on a light cone to actually function. Mind you, maybe there's a 4-star gacha alternative to the character nowadays. I don't know, but dude, you cannot make a character dependent on a sig light cone to actually function. That is ridiculous. I was gonna say the other word, and the video would have to, end right there. That is ridiculous, man. Very disappointing. I still am disappointed with E0 F0 Yunli. I really am, because again, her performance is dependent on whether or not you have her sig, which is, I'm so disappointed. I actually just want to stop playing this team right now. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. That's it. Tribbie E1 is still extremely broken. One of the probably the highest on the pool priority of this patch. Considering that the Fate collab is going to go on for quite some time, Tribbie E1 is a very nice pickup. And in all honesty, I don't regret my decision. I actually wanted to pull for Sparkle Eidolon, but or save more for Sarija. But both of those are disappointing right now in Honkai Star. Sparkle is not disappointing, but I don't use Archer, so yeah, Tribbie E1 is just way better, right? That's it. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Thanks again to Aneba for sponsoring today's video. Bye-bye.